Hey guys, it's Woody here over at USA Made Blade, and I am back here today to talk to you again about stropping your knives. So we're gonna cut away and go to a close-up shot and talk a little bit more about why you should strop instead of sharpening. We understand sharpening is a necessity from time to time, but daily stropping or at least after use is very beneficial, and just going to try and show you that. Hopefully this will all work out, but anyway, we'll be back with a close-up and show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. Alright guys, so we've done other videos about stropping, but what I wanted to kind of illustrate, as I've been doing it more and feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm certainly not going to call myself an expert. I've seen some of the stuff that some of the experts do, and it's insane. But just talking about daily maintenance of your knife, or at least anytime you've used your knife, what to do with it and everything else. This is my 456. I've done all the packages for about the past week with it and have not sharpened it, have not stropped it, haven't done anything to it. And actually with this knife, I've had it since May, and no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. April, May, it doesn't matter. And during that time, I have not put this on a single stone. All I've done with this knife is strop it. So to start, I try and get this in. The lighting in here is a little goofy, but you can see some of the tape residue and stuff around the edge of the knife. I definitely use it. I use it for every box here that we package up and send out. So it gets a lot of tape, gets a lot of cardboard. Sometimes we don't have a box that fits, so I'm sure if you've ever ordered from us, you've seen some of those. But as you will be able to hopefully tell, putting this on a piece of paper, we're not cutting. I mean, we're getting a little through it, but it's not pretty. Getting it started isn't going real well. So the next thing I'm going to do, or the first thing I'm going to do before I even start stropping, is get a little paper towel and some rubbing alcohol. Make sure you keep your rubbing alcohol and whatever you're drinking separate. And I like to get all that gunk off of it. Any tape, any, whatever you guys are cutting out there. If you're messing in the woods, you may have some sap or some sort of residue on the end of your knife. Boxes dull it down pretty good, but there's always tape and other gunk that gets on your knife. Even with some rope, you can get some mess on there. So everything I've cut, I've cut up some pieces of fat wood with this thing and gotten plenty of sap on there. And typically rubbing alcohol gets it all off. I'm sure there are some stronger things out there that you could use if your knife is really gunked up. But so I like to get it good and cleaned up. It's not perfect. I'm never going to get this knife looking brand new again. But get all that residue, especially off the edge. And then get your strop. And I'm using the biggest strop. This is what we use in the shop. We leave these out for customers to use when they come in, and all of us here use them. And I just like the bigger strops, but these are the flex strops that we sell. And this one happens to be the rudest paddle. But the Outlaw paddle is plenty big to use. And then we've got, of course, a few others. The Field Strop 2, I think, is your best option as far as stropping surface and price. But anyway, get your knife on the strop. And I've shown this before in other videos, but just start pushing your knife towards. So I'm pushing this way. I'm pushing where the edge is touching the strop and letting it glide and lifting up as I do it. And right when I feel it catch, that's about my right angle. And then just drag it across. Then do it again on the other side, and as soon as you feel it start to catch, don't push it hard. Now the other kicker with this is no pressure. Just let the weight of the knife stay on the strop. There's no need to put any pressure on it or bear down. And I can go a little past that angle of where it's catching, but I don't like to go too much. And the big thing is just let the knife do the work. Don't put any pressure on it. Keep the knife very light in your hand and just let it glide across. Now, one of the things I'll tell you is I know this to be true for some of the super steels that I've seen where you know, the CTS 204P, M390, even S35, some of those types of steels, they really don't need to be put on a stone. There are all sorts of sharpening systems out there and great ways to get a knife sharp, but if you just want to maintain that factory edge, keep a good edge on it. You know, I like to be able to cut paper, and if it can shave a little arm hair, great, but I'm not what I'm always looking for. I just like to be able to at least get it to cut paper pretty decently. Then all you really need to do is strop it. I mean, so far, I've used this knife every day for at least 6 months, and all I've done is strop it, and I've been absolutely impressed. So let's see where we are here. I don't know how many times I've run this across, but and sometimes I'm off a little bit on my angle, but wow. As you can tell, a world of difference. And that's it. I mean, that's all it takes is just a couple minutes on a strop. I sat here and did it right in front of you. My own knife, well used, and I don't think it's probably not cutting hair. I may be grabbing a couple, but no, it's not shaving sharp by any means. But cutting paper a heck of a lot smoother. Got all those little burrs and all those little tiny micro nicks and everything else off of it. So I'm good to go for another couple days on this. So anyway, just my little tip. That saves you a lot of steel loss and everything else, and saves you a lot of trouble of taking the time to put it on a stone and find the right angle and everything else. Give stropping a try. If you're frustrated about sharpening a knife, definitely take the time to invest in a good strop. Spend 30, 40, 50, up to $100. Get a good strop or make your own, and you'll be glad you did. And so that's about it. I could go into more detail about the strops, but we've done other videos about that. So hope this helps some of you out there that are struggling a little bit. We have strops and, of course, plenty of zero tolerance and other knives, all available at usamadeblade.com. As always, we appreciate you watching.